Okay, so this is officially, it's been so long. I don't even remember what episode this is. I should have checked that. Let's just say it's episode number 7.
This is the episode we're back.
This is me personally, this is the post-vaccine episode. So
this is
episode 0?
This is season 2, episode 1.
Season 2.
Oh.
Season 1 was very interesting.
Yeah.
We left on a cliffhanger.
That's right.
We left on a pretty big cliffhanger. Well, gentlemen, it's good to be in the room. We're all pretty well acceptably socially distanced, I'd like to say.
We are.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing a mask. I probably should be. I have it right here, but maybe I'll just Photoshop myself after. There's been a lot that's been happening in the world the past couple of days, past couple of weeks. I would like to say, are we on the mend? Are things looking better?
It depends what news channel you put it on.
I was gonna say.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. So you guys see, we're not gonna
depend what feeds you're subscribed to on your social media.
That's true. Yeah, what information silo you're in?
The trends seem to say that.
Yeah, that's true. Have you guys seen? YouTube is now running. They have a creator fund for $100 million for YouTube Shorts. They're trying to steal all the market away from TikTok. So they basically want to literally like paper trail cash to
TikTok and Instagram too, because Instagram has shorts on it too. So they're doing it for both.
I think TikTok is going to continue to explode in the next year and a half, and then something very sketchy is going to happen. They're going to sell some kind of data. There's going to be some kind of breach.
Well, dude, what happened with Vine? Vine was little shorts all the time.
Vine, they couldn't figure out how to make money off of it because nobody would buy ads, because basically if you're running a 7-second video, which is a great idea, which is basically what TikTok is right now,
right.
But everything was like in a 30-second ad format, and back then it was still way too expensive for people to... Either way, whether the commercial's 30 seconds or 7 seconds, you got to pay a certain amount of money to hire this agency, right?
Yeah.
So it just wasn't profitable.
Right.
But now it's like literally... I don't know if you saw that Outer Park Air Mills commercial, but people won't stop coming through the door.
Right.
And that was all filmed on an iPhone. It wasn't even the newest iPhone, which is pretty impressive.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
You gotta check it out.
It's pretty impressive. It's like we went back in time.
Where do we find it?
Oh, it'll be everywhere. It'll be everywhere online very soon. But anyways, let's get started here. So we'll talk about, so one thing that hasn't changed is the chip shortage. So
chips? No, I went yesterday. I went down the chip aisle at the Sobeys, and they had lots of chips. There was no shortage of chips there. What chips? What shortage are you talking about?
Yes, the chip shortage, the micro semiconductors for cars. So I think the supply chain right now with everything, I'm not sure what specific like component is actually short on, but the good news is I think over the next month or two, we should finally start seeing the effects, come back to life with automobiles, right? Like new cars, we have quite a few cars in stock. Not as many as we would seasonally, year over year, but we're a very big store, so thankfully we have a pretty good supply of inventory. So for any of the listeners or our clients watching, if you are looking for a car, we can still find you what you're looking for. We can get you a great deal. That's never a concern. But obviously, it's been something that's on the radar, for quite a few manufacturers, right?
It's been on the radar for a while. This is not just a last 30-day issue. This has been,
No, this is a known thing.
Yeah, and
I think it's affecting everybody, but I think it's affecting. It's not the whole automotive industry, but let's say the big 3 here in North America, and then there's a few of the import brands that are affected, but some of the other ones are not. And it's got to do with supply chain and how you manage your supply chain. And I think. For the North American manufacturers, they have an issue with supply chain management, and that's just because of their model of how they run their business. They only carry or let their suppliers initiate 2 weeks of supply. They don't allow them to go past that. I don't know the reasoning.
Would it be because North American brands just, obviously GM is 4 brands within one. So is that?
But a lot of components are used within the same cars. Like those conductors are used across
every vehicle
now. And different radios and all this other stuff. It's supply chain management. So you only hold your suppliers are only allowed to hold 2 weeks supply or manufacture 2 weeks supply to stay ahead of you by 2 weeks only.
Yeah.
Well, 2 weeks goes by real fast when there's a shortage.
Especially right now.
Right.
Yeah. So that just kind of speaks, though, there's some interesting things coming with, kind of the future of you don't really think of a car as a computer, but more and more there's a lot of very valuable information, safety related, driver enhancements.
A lot more than people think.
A lot more than people think. Yeah, the quality of life is massive. Jeff, can I make a suggestion? Is it okay if you switch masks? Because I think that one is a little bit too muffly. That way we'll be able to hear that wonderful voice. So while Jeff's switching, we were just going to talk about for a second. So Kevin, you were mentioning semiconductors. So Super Cruise is Cadillac's new self-driving feature.
Right.
That has been advertised like crazy, and we're very excited to see it. And we've kind of seen the early versions.
Yeah, and it's been a little tough to get on some of these Escalades. And then they open it up. So we've had a few of them land with it. Because of COVID, we haven't kind of been able to do a video because the ones that have landed are customer cars. We're not going to take those out on the road and do these videos and test it. We just don't do that here. But I can't imagine how many semiconductors
that they need
to run that system. Yeah.
I'm uneducated on this, but is it just like one per car? Is that what we're talking about, or are there multiple?
No, they're multiple.
Yeah. There's all computers in all the cars, like all the
different modules, probably.
Exactly, that all have to talk to each other.
Yeah, I remember one time I was out. So one of our mechanics, Hunter, I was talking to him, and he was telling me that for most car lines, there's a certain model year when they started shifting over. He said there used to be, I don't remember if it was a fuse box specifically, but he basically said there was like one module, for electronics for the fuse box, and he says now there's 3, 4. It's pretty common, to have multiple different categories. So I'm assuming
3, 4. Yeah, about 100 in an Escalade.
Really?
Oh yeah, at least that.
Wow.
All talking to each other.
Wow, it's pretty significant.
It is.
I guess even something as simple as when you get in proximity, most of the new Cadillacs, there's like a little bit of a light show.
A little bit.
There's a really cool light show, and that's probably that's.
Woke up my neighbor last night when I walked outside and had the key in my pocket by accident, just throwing something in the recycle, and the whole car lit up, and I'm just on the angle, so it goes right in his front windows. And I was just like,
does it project Applewood Cadillac?
No, it should though.
That should be coming in 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so we'll talk about this for a sec. So, Kevin, you think we're going to play this video? So this is a Canadian billionaire who developed a one-seat electric vehicle to fight traffic
Imagine a world
woes.
where you can beat traffic, protect the
Let's take a
environment,
look at
and
this
do it
video.
all at low cost and low speed. CTV's John Venavelli-Rao on the...
Workers have been hammering together the mini cars they think could revolutionize how
So they
we
look
get
silly,
around.
but you think...
Three-wheeled electric single-seaters aimed at radically reducing traffic congestion and pollution, says the man behind them, Frank Stronach.
The car's called Sarit.
Who at age 88 is still coming up with some rather bold ideas.
This will change transportation in the world.
Stronach developed these slender vehicles after being stuck in heavy traffic, noticing most of the cars had just one person inside.
So I
No
said,
kidding.
yeah, there's got to be a better way.
I can drive anytime.
His team came up with a kind of cross between an e-bike and a golf cart that they think could be driven
I guess this thing's
anywhere a
probably pretty good for
bicycle
bumper
can go.
cars too, huh?
And imagine
I don't
it
know
being
about that.
used to run errands, make deliveries,
Dude, it's open wheel
or
on
get
the
to
front.
and from work.
I see this as somebody using this around town, short trips.
The speed's limited to 32 kilometers an hour to match e-bike regulations. And the car's narrow
Definitely
enough
not doing a
to
Costco
fit in a
trip.
bike lane.
It does not take more room than a bike. When you drive a bike, by the time you got your elbows out, right?
But they figure this would be safer than a bike, offer protection from rain, and could be driven in the snow.
Wow.
There's even a trunk to fit luggage. As for the price tag, they figure one of these will sell for about $5,000 Canadian.
Wow.
Which they think for use
5,000.
over time would be less expensive than transit. In particular, they believe these would appeal to those who don't have the luxury of a large garage. Stronach, who made his name in the auto parts business and founded Magna International, hopes to eventually build millions of these at factories in both Canada and the U.S.
We call this the micro-mobility, and micro-mobility be the future.
A future that Stronach hopes will be easier on your pocketbook and the planet. John Venavelli-Rao, CTV News, Newmarket, Ontario.
Wow. So obviously the first iteration of design here, so they don't have to look all that cool. But, I'm sure if this thing was actually, like, it's just, if you put some nice looking paint on it that didn't make it look like it was a bumper car.
Do you know what's genius about it? That it's a single person,
Yeah.
and he kept the mileage, the speed, maxes out at 32, so it's classified an e-bike. So he gets all the bicycle rules around the city and around the world.
Oh. Wow. That's interesting. So you can ride it in the bike lane?
Yep.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
And it's not wider than somebody riding a bike with their elbows out.
That's true, yeah. And the bike lanes around Toronto.
Will it take off? Who knows? I can see it taking off in some really dense cities around the world where population is really high.
Yeah.
It's a great commute. I think it's a great commuter idea. I don't know how many people would want to make that investment, but he's right. So, from renting a bike when you get downtown, taking transit, or paying for parking, and you do that every day, why not just buy one of these for $5,000?
Well, that's true. And it's
not to mention when you're on your bike and it starts raining, the weather's crappy.
That you're covered in there, right?
Yeah, I guess too. Like thinking back as a university student, I had one of those kits that you could put an electric. I don't remember how many cc's it was, maybe like 10 cc motor on a bicycle, right? And it had a clutch and you get it going, and I could go about 60 kilometers an hour on that thing. So I ripped to school. I got hit by a car one day, so I stopped riding it. It wasn't as fun anymore.
Yeah.
But point being is, something like that to zip around to school for only $5,000. It's totally reasonable. And I remember one of the considerations. Most universities now,
or you could buy a Spark manual transmission.
Manual.
$9,995.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could, but I would rather have one of these things, because I'll tell you why. When you go to campus, most universities now charge for parking. You're paying about $7 a day. About $7. That's a lot of money for the parking pass for the year as well. If you buy one of those things, that's a lot of dough. Basically, you're shelling out around $2,000 a year for a parking pass. Well,
and how many students are there?
There's too many. They're making a lot of dough, right? Sunshine List, everybody hits a Sunshine List, right? But if you had a car like this, you're not paying for parking, right? Just park by the bike rack, right? I'd love to see what they could do. It's kind of a revolution in that sense. I'm sure they'd catch on, but it solves the space problem, that's for sure, with parking.
Yeah, you would hope that no one would steal it either. You gotta lock your bike up. You gotta lock that thing up.
Yeah, I'd imagine you could have a nice kryptonite bike lock or something on it, right? And you got a trunk, so you could probably store the chain there. But it's interesting. Canadian climate. I don't know how well this thing's going to do -20. Not that it gets too hot either, so you don't really need AC. If it's open concept, then you're probably fine. But Kevin, you think this could be a big thing?
Yep. It's not going to replace the car, but I think it could be a big thing.
Yeah. If
how much? Look at it. It's not much bigger than a scooter.
That's true.
Think a two-wheel scooter or a Vespa or any of those.
Yeah.
Or those those E1s. That's not bigger than that.
And we were talking about.
And it's enclosed, like he said. It's enclosed. If it's raining, if it's colder, if it's windy, you're enclosed.
Yeah.
It's hot. It looks like the windows come down, the doors come up.
Yeah, you just it's a Jeep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I know we were talking about the e-bike and the e-scooter thing.
Yeah.
You're still spending about $1,000 for one of those for basically, to be fully out in the open. And I'm sure this guy is going to do it properly. There's going to be financing. If you're a student and you knew you could finance this thing right alongside a computer for $50 a week or $30 a week, it's pretty easy to digest, right?
Yeah. I guess the other thing is too, is you gotta have somewhere to plug it in.
I guess so, but this thing may run on AAA's.
Yeah, I would hope so.
AA batteries. Who knows?
It doesn't look as easy to push.
No, that's for sure. Okay, well, interesting. We'll see how that develops. So let's talk about this for a sec. Tesla has stopped accepting Bitcoin. So Musk did the SNL skit. So the guy basically, it's interesting how that man has so much influence on the market.
It's crazy, but dude, honestly, the Bitcoin, when did he start accepting Bitcoin?
It was a couple months ago. They basically,
not very long.
It was not even maybe a couple months, less than 2 months. So basically, they put out, it was more of a PR thing than anything, saying, yeah, we're going to accept.
I want to know how much Bitcoin he sold in the last little while.
Pump and dump.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Pump it.
Announced that he was accepting it.
Dude, he buys a ton.
It went up.
Exactly.
Announces it, then dumps it, and now says, I'm not accepting it.
And then just goes into Dogecoin.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing, right? He
doesn't want any coins because of the mining.
Oh yeah.
No,
against mining.
I did read that, the fossil fuels and stuff for mining.
But like a couple months ago as well, he's always tweeting silly things, but about like Dogecoin as well. And then on SNL, like basically he called it like, a scam. He by saying that, that everybody's going to take a second look at what they're spending their money on. Whether it's a 16-year-old, $50 at a time, you tanked it 30%, right? It's just interesting to see that. But yeah, I think the whole thing was, obviously it was a little bit of a marketing play, but.
Do you know what the price of Bitcoin is right now?
I've stopped checking.
Yeah.
Because it'll be different by the end of this podcast.
Just under 42 cents, 41.9.
Oh, really? Hey?
Wait, Dogecoin or Bitcoin?
Dogecoin.
Oh, Dogecoin. Yeah.
42 cents?
42 cents now.
Wow. And it went as high as like 87 cents or something like that.
Pulling back, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 88, 89.
But the interesting thing is like everybody's looking at crypto as like a vehicle for like a stock.
Here's the problem with crypto. There's too many of them.
There's way too many. Well, people are treating it like it's an asset. Like the whole idea behind it is like initially Bitcoin was supposed to be just, the blockchain like technology that real applications were supposed to be built off of, for institutions. That hasn't happened yet. This is like 7-8 years later. Ethereum is the only one maybe that's cracking that. And they still don't have anything realistic. Like the processing fees are like 10% in some cases. Yeah. Like imagine going to use your credit card to buy an ice cream and it's $10. And then they say, okay, well, to use your credit card, we got to charge you, $1.50. How many times are you going to keep using that credit card? Like it just, exactly. There's cheaper ways to go about it.
It's at 59 right now. It's dropped $10,000.
Wow.
Overnight.
And then by lunchtime, depending on...
So it's in a selling frenzy right now. People are dumping.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like it just...
To the people that are holding on, what are they going to expect for it to stop at? Like, where's it going to settle?
Well, I think there's obviously going to be people who just buy the dip. I think they're just going to keep doing that.
Buy at the dip.
Well, yeah, I think there's obviously some whales. Like one of the articles I saw, like there's a lot of undisclosed accounts, so you can see like some of these hedge funds that are buying this, and they're buying like super amounts. Like you can see, you don't know whose wallet it is, but some of these wallets have like a ungodly amount of money in them, But obviously there's some people who know some things or have money to burn, right? Well, it's easy to kind of throw that away. Like for everybody who's buying it for $10, why do you care if it goes down to 40,000?
Right.
Whether it's 80,000 or 40,000, that's just like.
Well, somebody bought it for $10 and they got 10,000 shares of it or 1,000 shares of it. They just took a shit kick.
Yeah, but they've already beep. but they've already won. Whether it goes to 20,000 or 40,000, like that's already pretend money. That's fake money at that point. Anyways, interesting. We won't give Tesla too much thought because there's so much exciting stuff coming from Cadillac.
Or Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But if you do want to bring your Bitcoin to Applewood, I'll take it.
Jeff, will you take that transaction?
I'll take the transaction.
Okay, you'll assume the risks and
I'll assume the risk.
And then you'll do the deposit on your credit card. Okay. This is on air. This will be published. We may retract that statement depending on what the volatility and the price is next week, but
I'm only kidding.
All terms and conditions are subject to change, but don't notice.
Read the fine print.
Applicable to Canadian citizens only.
Yeah.
Who live in L5L.
You can't live in a hot spot. Okay, so allegedly riding in backseat. So this guy was arrested for basically riding. Tesla driver arrested for.
Where was it?
Let's see. Highway Patrol, California Highway Patrol.
He looks so scared in that.
He looks terrified.
Yeah.
So Sharma 25 spotted in the backseat going eastbound on I-80. Several calls were made about the driver, confirming he was a single occupant seated in the backseat, initiated. Who do you think called?
You'd think if you were sitting in the back seat, like hanging out, and like you just see someone beside you, and they start calling, like you just climb to the front, and be like, maybe I shouldn't be back here.
Well, it begs the question. You basically have to turn on autopilot, and like you said, you have to crawl into the back seat. You're not opening the door to get into the back seat. You're crawling into the back seat. So it really begs the question on like,
is that necessary?
Yeah, if anything, what's the difference between the driver's seat and the passenger seat or the back seat? Like, that was a stunt.
Yeah, it's like Kevin said. What was he doing back there?
Yeah.
And let's be honest, if he was back there to sleep, nobody would have noticed him because he'd be laying down.
I wouldn't be back there.
I wouldn't be back there.
I need to have some sort of control.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have to trust it that much.
No.
I love how we just said in the prior article, we're going to stop talking about Tesla and Bitcoin. The next article is some kid in a Tesla. Well, why is it their customer base? You know, when Super Cruise is around in 2 years and everybody's got one of these Cadillacs on the road, do you think we're going to start seeing stuff like that with Cadillac customers? Or do you think they're going to pull that stuff?
I think Cadillac customers are different.
Yeah? I think that's a fair statement. If we're going to put them into a box, I still think that stereotype. I don't think you're going to be seeing.
Unfortunately, there is stereotypes. It just is what it is. Like there's the Toyota Prius customers.
Yeah.
They're a little different.
Jeff, you used to work at Toyota.
I was going to say, that's to say the least. No offense to any Prius customers, but
they're very specific in how they like their stuff.
When you want to talk about the box they're in, like, keep me away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just basically
make your head spin.
Was there a lot of Patagonia that they wore, like camping gear too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the hikers.
Yeah, and they always got a water bottle with them.
Yeah, you got to stay hydrated, right? One of those aluminum.
That's right.
Yeah, you can't trust. We put fluoride and Pepsi in our water at these dealerships to influence you, right?
Yeah. Check out our pop machine.
Our pop machine's Coke, by the way.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by them though. Let's be perfectly clear. Yeah, you don't see any Coke cans on this table. No, that's not fueling us in the morning. But I don't think yet.
Nothing like a nice Coke Zero in the morning.
Nothing like it, man. But I think what we do need to do is we need to find a nice petrol sponsor. We need somebody to sponsor us for gas when we're doing a podcast on the boat.
I agree.
That's for sure. We get in the middle of Lake Ontario. This one was sponsored by whoever steps up, and we won't even mention any potentials yet. I don't think Cadillac customers we're gonna have this problem though.
No.
I think that the people, and I think probably one of the benefits of autonomous driving is like you're gonna be doing that. I don't think we're at the point yet to substitute work, like driving for being on a computer or a phone or answering emails. I can certainly see that in the future. If you're getting around and you're on a Zoom call, if the technology is there and it's safe enough, I can imagine that as being something that, travel time, why not make it, a time where you can work? But I think we're a long way off.
Question though.
Yeah.
You know how some of the features when you're driving actually get disabled? It says, not safe while driving, you only use Siri and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you think when you flip Super Cruise on or these Teslas in autopilot, that goes away?
I think some of the stuff on the Teslas,
like so that you could text on your phone or
I don't know about that.
Stuff.
I don't know, but I know you can watch videos.
You can watch videos.
Right? Oh, you can.
You can watch videos, so I'm pretty sure you can literally pull up browser
And the parking brake obviously doesn't have to be on for that.
I don't think so. No, because I've seen videos on Reddit of people.
You know what? I think it's inevitable as more and more autopilots get introduced in autonomous driving. Like if you've given control of the vehicle to the car and its computer system and its GPS and all that stuff, why can't you text? You've just given up control anyway.
That's true.
Yeah.
What's the point of still having your hand on the steering wheel and your foot near the pedals? Might as well just drive then.
Yeah,
that's right.
Like I don't want autopilot. Like I use adaptive cruise control when I'm doing long trips, but I can't imagine it being in total autopilot. I don't know. It's a little weird. I took a CT6.
Yeah.
With Super Cruise, and on the on ramp from one highway to the other, and how it took it really freaked me out.
Really?
Does it work though?
But it's scary because it's like I don't know. You want to grab the wheel. The wheel's turning. It's like
yeah.
And you're doing 80.
I was just about to say, what speed you going at?
Yeah.
Takes a turn nice and everything though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think once they design insurance packages, like once manufacturers start fulfilling insurance, which I think is probably inevitable, that's going to be where you see a lot of these restrictions probably lifted. Because if they're that confident that their car won't crash, they're going to sell you insurance at a premium.
For sure.
And if there's money to be made, why don't they make it, right? Opposed to these other companies, right? I think that'll be probably the tipping point. If they're not selling their own insurance, you're probably going to see a lot of these features disabled while you're driving. But I think, and I hate to say this as an example, but that's something Tesla is starting to do, offer their own insurance on their own cars.
Are they?
Yeah. And in certain parts of the states, I believe in California, but certain postal codes and all that, they are offering Tesla insurance. But that's interesting, right? 2 years from now, I think most manufacturers like GM, if you have Super Cruise, why would they not sell you insurance?
Or it'll be part of the subscription. Who knows?
Correct. Like,
I'm sure it will be.
And what a great way to bundle OnStar, right? Peace of mind for me as a customer. I think that's extremely convenient. If you can bundle the car payment with insurance and there's a few extra perks, why would you not? Right? It just makes a lot of sense, and it just obviously builds credibility behind the brand, right? And I'm sure they'll be able to offer their insurance cheaper than anybody, which is kind of interesting. So
it's something that's necessary for the car, so bundling together is definitely smart because they need to get it regardless.
Exactly. So make it more convenient for the customer. That's all it's about, right? Quick article here. We were talking about this earlier before we started, but potential for automakers to add revenue from in-car payments. So without going in depth into the article, basically subscription add-ons, right? So let's just say you're paying $300 a month on a great deal on a CT4. There may be an option to say, hey, your vehicle does come equipped with safety packages, but you got to pay $20 a month to turn them on. As a consumer, so we'll take off our dealer hat for a second. As a consumer, do you think that's a good idea? Is that something you'd be willing to pay for?
No.
Me neither.
Why is that?
If the car is equipped, if I'm paying for the safety package on the car, then why do I got to pay monthly?
Yeah.
So you as a manufacturer, you've installed those components already.
You've already eaten the cost. You want to make it back.
You've already eaten the cost, so it's in the car. So why are you charging me now just to use it? 'Cause you've already put it in there.
Yeah.
Right? So no.
And
No.
just like every
It's either you want it or you don't. It's either you want nav or you don't. It's either you want the sunroof or you don't.
Yeah.
Safety features are going to be standard. They're going to be mandated. Backup cameras are already mandated.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like these things are going to be mandated because they're safety features that
Avoid accidents.
safety regulators approve of, right? So they're going to be standard equipment.
Yeah.
But stuff like, autonomous driving, that's different. That's not, that requires signals and GPS.
It's a lot more expensive.
But it requires constant data.
Yeah.
Right? The car needs to ping satellites and know where it is and monitor everything around it and know where the lights are and that the lights are red and the lights green and there's traffic up ahead, slow down. Like this is all going to be communicated through data, right?
Yeah.
Live data. So yeah, that I understand, but your blind zone monitoring and your adaptive
That should
cruise,
be-
your nav. So you want nav or you don't. Everybody has nav on their phone. We still have the customers who come in and want embedded nav
Yeah.
in their screen. I like to have both. For example, you're up in Collingwood and Blue Mountain. You're not getting that up there,
Yeah. Sometimes you just, good luck.
Yeah.
right?
Signal is.
And how many other parts of Canada and the United States or anywhere that there's probably not very good cell signal?
Yeah. You don't know.
It's nice to have it there.
Yeah. You don't know when you'll need it till you need it, kind of thing.
Right.
Right.
It's nice to have it, I think.
Yeah.
And
Jeff?
the cost has come way down on what nav is. And on some of our packages, it's already standard, and I'm pretty sure other manufacturers are too. But I don't know. I know we're going the subscription route everywhere in the world with everything.
Mhm.
Everything's about subscriptions now, and trying to retain customers with memberships and stuff. I think it's inevitable in the car industry. I just don't know if it'll be on those features or.
Yeah. There's a lot of ways they can go about it, right? Jeff, what do you think? You're a young guy. Are you with the model or are you not?
Well, it's funny. I was kind of thinking here while you guys were talking.
Jeff's cheap. He won't pay for a membership.
I was just going to say, the way my mind works, dude, I'd be in that mechanic shop so fast going, who knows how to turn these on for free? Who knows how to turn everything on for free?
Yeah, hot wire this thing.
There's got to be a way.
Yeah.
So now think of this.
Jailbroken.
Yeah,
We're gonna go off to a topic that's
That's
not
why I was
here.
like, it's funny the way my mind went, right?
We're going to go into a topic that's not on the screen.
Yeah.
But I'm going to relate it back to these autonomous connected vehicles, okay?
Yeah.
One of the biggest gasoline pipelines in the U.S., Colonial Pipeline, got hacked for the last 8 days. There's been no gas supply for the northeastern states in the United States. They're out of gas. They just got it back up and running yesterday. It was held. Dark Side is who hacked it.
Yeah.
So how many of these cars are going to get hacked? I'm so terrified to have an autonomous feature in my car. Can you imagine driving and some 14-year-old popping his zit,
breaks your car,
breaks into your car from his mom's basement, okay?
Yeah, and demands $10,000.
Starts driving you across the country.
Dude, not even that.
You have no control. You can't get out.
Imagine you wake up and your 14-year-old just hacked everybody's Tesla on the street and brought them all to your house. He's stolen everybody's car. And then you wake up, you go out, you're like, where's my car? They're hacked overnight, stolen.
Yeah, and with the ransom for Dogecoin.
Yeah.
It's kind of a funny future, though. Like, it just seems like a comedy sketch, let's be honest. But the fact that you can hack a pipeline is
major gas pipeline.
I saw, because I couldn't figure out, I saw
Colonial Pipeline, look it up.
But why, though?
I saw...
They could. They want a ransom.
Well, I guarantee... Who would think that you would even hack a pipeline? But and just... If you were to go back even 10 years ago and tell somebody this, they'd be like, what did you smoke? Like, what are you on? You know, a pipeline, like there's a lever, gas on, gas off. Like, this is the way I think about it. Like propane for a barbecue. You turn the knob and you let it flow, or you don't. The fact that obviously there's, you know, some kind of a relay, an internet connection, you know, that, hey, I'm sure it's measuring a ton of information. This is the peak hour of consumption, and turn it on, turn it off. Like there's obviously...
It's not natural gas. This was gasoline for the pumps. Like,
dude,
really?
Gasoline.
Oh, wow.
This flows gasoline from Texas to the Northeast.
Wow.
Right? So people were lined at the pumps for the last...
I saw a lady filling a grocery bag, like, online. There's a meme of it. A grocery bag full of gasoline.
I saw that too. She's putting them in her trunk.
You know what? Listen, she's a forward thinker, man.
Yeah. There was a big lineup last night at the gas station for me, though.
In Ontario.
Yeah, well, maybe not because of that, but there was a big one yesterday.
Well, man, yeah. Well,
it would have really inflated our price. So apparently it's been resolved. The FBI and them have resolved it. They knew it was Dark Side, but yeah.
I wonder. Yeah, I would like to see the lineup of those guys. Those are like the dark, you know, the Avengers. You know, like a back-to-back team photo with the arms crossed. They probably all look like they've never seen light. And
I was just about to say that, dude. They probably sit in the dark all day.
Yeah, they're
in front of their computer.
Yeah, those LEDs are basically, they're like plants, man. It's just, that's the only thing that's sustaining them. That and Cheerios or whatever they're eating. But interesting, eh? So yeah, there's it actually feels pretty good to be back in here.
Definitely.
For the next episode. So Kevin, this is season 2?
Why not?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're done with season 1.
Season 1 was a learning experience. Season 2 is the real deal. Season 2, we have some major league sponsorships lined up.
For sure.
And our deals are better than ever. For those who are still listening at this point, this is the Easter egg in the podcast. We have employee pricing. We can get you pay what we pay on pretty much all of our new vehicle inventory.
You pay less than what we pay.
Really?
Yeah, dealership employee. You pay what a GM employee, a GM executive pays.
Wow.
I did a deal the other day. I had a guy that works at the GM plant.
And you got him a better deal than what he can normally get.
Didn't even need to give me an authorization number.
That's pretty powerful.
Same deal.
Yeah. So if you need a car, folks who are still listening, now is an absolute excellent time. There's a lot of great programs.
While supplies last.
While supplies last, that's the kicker. We do have inventory, but for how much longer? You know, the people aren't really going on vacation this year. They're taking road trips, or plan to.
When do you think vacations are going to open up again? Destinations for Canadians anyway. I know Americans are going to Cancun and stuff, and I know the COVID is ramping through Cancun right now in Mexico.
I think we may start seeing the light towards the end of October. Flu season hits, they're going to shut her down.
2022.
You think so, eh?
Spring 2022. That's why I think everything will kind of go.
I know cruise ships will probably be up before that.
Probably, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, need to be vaccinated to get on. You ain't getting on if you're not vaccinated.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. But
it's interesting with the second shot of the vaccination. It's like you have to wait a certain time period. I guess you don't have control over that.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be 21 days, but our government's done. Our government has it for 4 months. Yeah, because our government couldn't get vaccines.
But like, how are they keeping track of that? Because like, I got an email to my Hotmail saying, hey, by the way, this is what we injected you with. If another country is tracking like a vaccine passport, how are they collecting that information?
So ours is centralized through Ministry of Health. That's why they ask you for your health card. They know who's been vaccinated and who hasn't.
Gotcha.
They already know.
Gotcha.
And they'll set up. So if you book through public health, I know in Halton, you book your first appointment, you go do at the same time you book your first appointment, they give you your second appointment right on the spot.
Yeah, that's what happened yesterday as well. They basically made sure I was pre-booked September 1st. You know, you have any questions?
Dude, it's September, so it's like
September's a while
you're
away.
not going to shit. Like you're not gonna have a summer now.
Out of the country.
You can go with one shot. Unless you're allowed to do stuff with one.
You need to be fully
vaccinated.
Yeah, it's kind of like a halfway measure.
Summer shot anyways.
Yeah.
It's a diff.
No, it's not. We have places to go here in Canada and Ontario. We have cool places.
Lockdown's just been extended some more.
No, there's no way they're extending it into June.
June 6th.
Okay, but hold on.
I was just going to say, Nick, it already is.
No, are you guys being for real?
June 6th. June 6th.
Yeah.
So June 6th.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what if people go outside on June 3rd and just go about their lives?
No.
Not allowed. You're into summer now.
Not allowed.
Okay, but anything past June 6th?
Go outside and do what? Parks are closed.
How can you close a park?
Provincial parks are gated.
Dude, they put
boat launches are gated. You can't even put
you can't put a boat in the water?
No.
It's affecting Lake Ontario now.
Yeah, well, this is getting clean.
You can't golf, dude.
Can't golf.
I know you can't golf.
So what are you going to do? Go to a playground and play on the monkey bars? That's the only place you can go. Malls are closed. Venues are closed.
Yeah.
Patios are closed. Restaurants are closed. Everything is closed except Applewood.
That's true.
We're open by appointment only, but we're open.
We're essential.
We're essential. But do you get me? Where are so June 3rd, June 4th, May 2-4. May 2-4 is coming.
Where are you going?
Victoria Day weekend's coming.
Where are you going?
Where are you going?
You basically take a nice walk down the street.
People will be outside. People might get gathered in people's backyards.
Yeah.
But that's about it. And I think that's what they're trying to do is try to limit mobility of people.
Yeah.
To, stop the spread. It is what it is. I'm not going to get into what I agree and I don't agree with on this podcast, but
it was interesting.
There's nowhere to go.
It was interesting on the way home. I always drive by the sign on Dundas. I don't know if you see it on the right-hand side just after 9th line there.
Yeah.
And it always said stay at home.
Yeah.
Now it says stay within the household. It's interesting how they changed that.
Why would they spend tax money on that? Interesting. So, I don't know. Good news.
Well, it's no tax. It's an electric sign. They just log in.
Oh, it's an electric.
Yeah, I'd like to get a hacker to log into that.
Yeah.
Put my own message.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? If we're locked down, but Applewood's still open, that means we have plenty of content coming to keep you entertained.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure. So I guess, again, we don't know what episode this is. It's been a little bit of a hiatus.
No, it's episode 1 of season 2.
Episode 1 of season 2. I'm down with that.
Yeah, the real deal.
Real deal. And we'll have, I still want to get some content fired up with guys. I want to show some of our clients, here's how you can appraise your car online. We got a lot of new tools over the past year that I think a lot of our customers maybe don't know we've put in place. Like, we've spent and invested a lot of money to make sure that we can keep our customers, we can basically meet them where they want to be met, right?
Absolutely.
With our trade tools, with our build and price tools online, that's what I'm really looking forward to, Jeff, with a lot of our sales guys too.
And even if you decide to make an appointment and come down to the showroom, we got plexiglass everywhere, sanitized stations at every entrance, every hallway. We have special communal desks, for you to sit down and discuss a vehicle. You'll be behind glass. It's
all the vehicles are sanitized.
All vehicles are sanitized.
Sticker on the door.
They're all nice and washed.
Yep.
For your liking. So, you can come down or call our customer experience team and they'll book you an appointment.
Absolutely. We have all the tools and I can't wait. We're going to do some of these videos where we show just the benefits with some of the sales guys. Super easy to use, but yeah, I think that's it. That's a wrap, guys. Yeah. Season 2, episode number 1. A lot of content coming.
One important thing that we didn't talk about.
What?
Look at the weather we're getting now.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. I think, there's going to be some good hangouts in my backyard at least. I can't wait to get the barbecue going.
Where do you live? What's the address?
Yeah. Public health, you get it. Alrighty, folks. Well, everybody have a great day, and we'll see you on the next episode.
All right, take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.